Here we have the new Dell Inspiron 16. Join me in Argentina in 4K while we discuss how badass this laptop is. The Dell Inspiron 16 has always been one of my favorite machines to recommend to people, namely because it's cheap and offered a lot of bang for your buck. This new version, however, may be such good bang for your buck that this may in fact be the best laptop that you can buy for the money. Bottom line, this thing is sub $600. I think this one's flirting with around the $550 price tag in the US market. It offers a ton of features and is frankly built really well. Ultimately, there is not a lot that Dell could do to improve upon this platform, but we're gonna go ahead and get into that and find out why this is one of the best valued laptops that you can get, if not the best valued laptops that you can get, and if you should buy one yourself. So some changes for the new Inspiron 16. They have added back the numpad on the right side. A lot of people are gonna be excited about that because that's one thing that people particularly missed. Standard is a backlight on the keyboard. And also they've updated the mechanisms underneath the keys. They just feel so good and tactile and responsive. This is a 5 out of 5 keyboard and almost as good as Apple's keyboards on their laptops. They've also updated the speakers, and while it's not nearly as good as they are on the MacBook Pro or the MacBook Air, these are by far the best, well, they're fantastic speakers for the price bracket of this machine. This is probably some of the best speakers that we have reviewed on a 15-inch laptop and a long-time PC laptop to be specific. And anyway, we gotta give Dell big ups on that. Standard, of course, for this model year is Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.0. It has DDR5 RAM in there instead of the old nasty, slow DDR4 stuff, yuck. It can be equipped with either Intel's, AMD's processors, NVIDIA, dedicated graphics, all that good stuff. And then, of course, you have this gorgeous 16-inch display, which is FHD+, basically gives you a little bit more resolution, a little bit more bang for your buck. This particular model isn't touchscreen or anything like that, but they do make a touchscreen version if you want to pay for the upgrade. Webcam on this thing is still like fairly standard, but it does come with a little privacy shutter on it right here, but this is what the webcam footage looks like now. This is a test of the webcam on the new Dell Inspiron 16. It's certainly fine for Zoom, Skype, Teams, and any other sort of business and collegiate purposes. And then ultimately they updated the frame to where it's just a little bit lighter, a little bit more robust, a little smoother around the edges. That's one thing I noticed. It's just like, they took like sandpaper to the shell of the laptop and just kind of sanded it down, made it smooth and nice and just a little bit better to use. Let's see here, dark gray, well, sort of medium gray keycaps, love that, instead of that silver nonsense that some other manufacturers are using. I/O on this stuff is fantastic. You got a full-blown Type A super speed port right there, TRRRS jack, full-size SD card for those that want to do photography and stuff like that on here, and of course a little mini Kensington lock because everybody uses Kensington lock. You do have where you plug it in, AC jack, because it doesn't run on solar energy. Full-size HDMI, another super speed port Type A, and then a display port / USB-C, where you can also charge it, so that's cool. That is all awesome. It does not come with a USB-C charger, by the way, though. That's the one thing I wish Dell would. It's not, you know what, it's not all you know, unicorns and fairy tales, okay? It's got some annoyances. Doesn't come with a USB-C charger, not a big deal. You can charge it on USB-C if you have one. The other annoying thing is the battery. Dell claims that this is a 10+ hour all-day battery, but realistically, you probably won't get much more than 7 or 8 hours, depending on what you're doing. If you're doing like a dim screen with a Word document, you might be able to kind of squeak it by the 10-hour range, but ultimately, if you're doing any kind of normal operations, it's gonna be about the 7 to 8 hour mark. That said, it doesn't mean that it's a total bust. You can still just carry around your charger with you, a USB-C charger, in fact, so that way if you're going in and out of an airport, going in and out of a classroom, whatever, you've got your charger on standby just in case. That said, if you're somebody that needs like literal all-day battery life because you cannot get to an outlet, then this may not be for you. Ultimately, this thing is just a powerhouse beast. It doesn't come with like Thunderbolt on this like entry-level version, but you know, get the Pro then if you want that. Trackpad, nice and big, responsive, all in pretty good. Like maybe like a 4 out of 5 trackpad. Screen, really colorful. Speakers, really good. Who's it for? Almost anybody. College student, somebody that just doesn't want to break the bank but get still a lot of bang for your buck on a laptop. I really have very few complaints with this machine. It's absolutely exceptional, especially for the price. So yeah, ultimately, do I recommend the Dell Inspiron 16, the new version? Yes, I do. Got Touch ID, what's it called? Windows Hello, fingerprint reader, good metal chassis, quick specs. I'm not gonna benchmark it because ultimately this thing is, it's gonna perform the way that anybody would need it to. Who's it for? Photographers, shooting on location. By the way, you can also update the NVMe drive in here to add some additional storage if you want to. It is also for very light gaming, Minecraft, like that's about it. You can probably get away with some video editing, but not like 4K raw, just like maybe compressed stuff, 1080p, you get the idea. Podcasters, people doing a little audio studio in their backyard. This thing would be perfect for that as well. College students, business people. That said though, if you are a traveler, you may want to find something that's slightly scrunchier, slightly smaller to go in and out of an airport with, but ultimately it's light and peppy enough that you can certainly throw this thing in and out of a backpack while you're getting your ass molested by TSA. But just bear in mind, if you are somebody that relies on battery very heavily, just bring the charger with you. It's not to say that the battery life is trash. I think the weakest we got was something like about 7 hours, but just, be prepared. You may be able to eke out about 10 hours with this thing, depending on like what you're using, how dim the screen is, you get the idea. Anyway, do we like and or recommend the new Inspiron 16? Yes, we think Dell hit an absolute home run with this. You cannot beat the price. Exceptionally good laptop, just a good basic laptop that does laptop things. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us in the comments section. Please like and subscribe. Please check out our Patreon, and we will be back with another video really soon.